afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome all back to Twickenham for the third and final game of round 2 of the Six Nations 2023. We've already had 2 corkers of games over this weekend, which you can go back and watch on catch up. This one between England and Italy. England last week managing to have a great win over Scotland, a hard fought match. But one of the big talking points from last week, Italy getting the win over France. One of the biggest outcomes I think we've ever seen in this series of the Six Nations. We'll see how Italy managed to keep that momentum going in this game as Marcus Smith gets us kicked off and underway. And Ben Youngs gets under the ball. So influential last week against Scotland. Made a massive impression in that one. Has been given the start this weekend. Italy with a nice little turnover to start us off in this game, regaining that possession they probably should have got from the kickoff. They won't have been too happy to have conceded that kickoff, as we see an enormous hit in that midfield. Good little clearance kick from Italy. In fact, finding very close to that touchline. I'm not sure if it's gone out directly, and it has. We go back. I thought there was a lovely little line out from them there. They go to the front. No, they've thrown the dummy jumper. Both will go into the air, secured through the likes of Curry. Out to Slade. Kyle Sinclair has to fill in to try and recoup that ball. Let's see what they get up to here. They've dropped back in the pocket as Marchant goes for the drop goal. Clearly thought there was nothing on, got caught in two minds and just went for the drop goal. Big call, but hey, you've got to win this game. They've obviously seen the threat that Italy are bringing. Why not make the most of it with a drop goal as the ball falls down there? Oh, it's a great pickup, though, by Federico Ruzza, managing to catch the ball. England players just waiting for it there. They've gone quickly. And Italy wasting no time trying to make the impact in this game as we see England scrambling across. It's a great tackle by Itoje in the end to pin Italy into that touchline. England go for the front throw there. It's worked for them. Ben Youngs takes it up. Jack Noel comes in on the crash ball. Not one of the players you'd be expecting to see there. Ben Youngs gets it out to Johnny Hill, to Joe March, and just goes for the wild offload to Johnny May, who kicks it on downfield. They'll know this is potentially a game they want to be taking big points away from, maybe even a bonus point try if they can get it. Italy with another solid clearance. I think it's gone straight into touch again, but this time he was inside his own 22. Huge clearance by the Italians there. They'll be very happy with that decision. Back into the England half. The England set piece still holding strong as Max Mayland hits the gap there. Nice little handoff in the midfield. But Italy again on the turnover. Been superb today in terms of their defensive rate, but not there. Left him outside on his own. A bit of a forward pass. It looked like they're going out to Johnny Hill. Ben Youngs clearly seeing there's an overlap on the outside. Jack Noel will try and make the most of it, but the Italian defence still holding solid. They have been the ones to watch the Six Nations. Some really impressive stuff as Itoje mixes it up and goes for the up and under, and it's picked up by Brex, who goes on the counter attack, gets the offload away as well. England just feeling a little bit desperate here, not very organised. Italy are making the most of this one. Ben Youngs fills it in that full-back position. Can he get it away? Doesn't look like it. Absolutely swarmed by the Italian defence there. It looks like England do have a mismatch out on this right wing, but it's a terrible pass by Ellis Genge out to Jack Noel, has sort of left him for dead, and no one supported him either. It's all gone terribly wrong for England, and what should have been a bit of an easy exit there. 5-on-2 man overlap. They won't be happy with that in the coaching staff as we see the ball go out wide, as we see Panavani showing off those dancing feet. England are being pinned back onto their own 5 metres. They know they're in desperate trouble. Marcus Smith falls back in that back position, has to clear the ball. To be fair, it was an incredibly difficult kick. He'll be happy to have even got that close to the 22 metres at that point. Italy putting huge pressure on now. Can England try and exit a little bit cleaner this time? Marcus Smith does get a clean boot to ball and pins Italy back in their own half. Italy go for their own kick back inside the field. The ball isn't picked up very well. Johnny Hill has to be the one to recover. Gets it out to Marchant. Ioane comes in for the tackle. Noel on the inside. Passes it back inside. Underhill now trying to make his way up that wing as we see Jack Noel left on his own a little bit. Can Ioane get back for the cover tackle? He does, but at the expense of a lot of meters. Kyle Sinclair next in line. Big crash ball. Goes through 2 tacklers. Takes 3 to actually take him to ground here. Italy with yet another turnover, but a poor ball dropped. It actually looks like it might have come off the hands of an England player in the ruck there. They have given it to Italy in the scrum. Looks like the ball might have been played with the hands there by the England player. Only 3-0 as we enter the final 5 minutes of this first half. Italy will be incredibly happy with this performance so far, even though they conceded the 3. Joe Marchant going for that early drop goal seemed like a bit of a weird decision, but looking back at it, it might have been an absolutely brilliant move to just keep them in the lead on the scoreboard as we go towards half-time. England go for that big shove. Italy are trying to hold out themselves. We can see it beginning to creak. The England scrum is beginning to move forwards, and suddenly England are put on the front foot from their own bad position. Marchant gets it out wide to Johnny May, who's darting for the corner. He seems to have caught the players out of position. Will go over for that try 1 minute before halftime. It needed to happen. Such a lovely run by Marcus Smith, making the room. Marchant getting that offload from the tackle, and Johnny May running it over. First try of the game coming just before the half-time whistle. It's probably the only lapse we've seen so far in the Italian defence, and England have punished them. Marcus Smith to see if he can get this one over. A better kick than we saw from him last week, of course, coming off the post. Italy will need to try and make a big impression before the half-time whistle now. Will they be able to return the ball? It doesn't look like it. England have dropped Slade back in that pocket. They'll just want to get this off, and I think rightly so. I think they'll be needing words from the coach at that half-time whistle. 10-0, but the flag's not waving quite as proudly as potentially they would have been before the match. Looking at the highlights then from that incredible first half, Italy once again showing off why they're playing so well in this Six Nations from last week. Italy's defence has been superb throughout this first half. A number of turnovers in that breakdown play, but the set piece has been one of the areas England have felt quite strong in, winning a lot of their own lineouts, giving them a good platform to launch from. The early score coming in from the drop goal from Joe Marchant felt like a bit of a weird call at the time so early into the game, but obviously running out of room, decided to go at himself and just take the 3. Really was potentially the only score we were going to have in that first half if it wasn't for a very late try coming in from Johnny May. All began from an Italian scrum that went against the head. The scrummaging from the England team incredibly good as they spread the ball out wide through some lovely offload play out to Johnny May, who caught the winger out of position and ran it over for the try, converted successfully by Marcus Smith, and we see England go in at halftime 10-0 up. On to the second half then, and the coaches are obviously not happy with that first half from England. There's been a number of substitutions at halftime, at hooker and at flanker coming on. We've also seen Owen Farrell come onto the pitch. A couple of people were surprised to not see Owen Farrell named in the starting team as the captain. They did have a Henry Slade, Joe Marchant matchup in that centre partnership. Maybe they didn't anticipate how hard Italy were going to come into this game, but Owen Farrell is now on the field trying to add a bit of leadership, trying to get this England team a bit more organised than they have been in that first half, and they'll be happy with an early turnover. They'll try and make the most of it, but a poor pass from Ben Youngs there, not the way they'll be wanting to make the inroads into this game, as Henry Slade makes a bit of a break and thinks he sees the room to just go himself. A superb break by Henry Slade there, making the room. Jack Nowell is out on the wing all on his own. Ellis Genge with a superb pass. What can Jack Nowell do single-handedly? Still going. Takes it up to the 5-metre line. It's getting incredibly close very early on in this first half. They pass it out. Can England get it away as Max Malins comes on the crash ball through a number of tackles? Kyle Sinclair runs it up. Oh, I think there was a better line being run there again by Malins as Ben Youngs goes himself isolated though. England do well to hold on to that one. They go out wide to Johnny May, who knows he's caught in two minds there again. An overlap probably didn't need to be made with the miss pass there. Kyle Sinclair charges up into the line as well. They go out wide to Henry Slade, and Tom Curry, who's hit a superb line through, passes back inside to Slade, who began this move off about 5 phases ago, but Italy do extremely well to hold this position down. Does go for the clearance kick, does get charged down slightly by the England players, and suddenly Itoje is away. Can he make the most of it? He gets a try himself. What a superb move there from Itoje, noticing the mismatch out on the wing. England have been a little bit slower today in the ruck in this second half, not getting that ball out wide. It all began here from that missed kick. Zanon went for the kick but got tackled mid-kick. Great cover tackle there as well to not let Italy break away. Itoje saw that mismatch and decided to go for the try himself. Superb play as Marcus Smith now sets up for a bit of a tricky kick. Not the easiest with the wind blowing back towards him. We'll see how he gets on here. Manages to get it around the post. It was looking a little bit touch and go there for a second. England are up to 2 tries. Realistically, going in form of this game, you'd be wanting England to come away with the bonus point here. They'll see how they get on in terms of managing to get to that level. Italy have played very well in this game so far, but don't find themselves on the scoreboard, unfortunately. Itoje goes for a bit of a different move over the top here, really trying to lead from the front as he tries to pass out wide. Oh, I'm not sure the pass back inside was necessary, but the offload game from Italy doing well. There did seem to be room, though, on that wing. Did it need to go? Ellis Genge with a lovely little pass outside. Pass back in to Johnny Hill there. There's potentially room on this wing, but I think the Italian winger has managed to recover in time. Nice play from him there. They drop back to Marcus Smith, who goes to try and run it round with Tom Curry. Maro Itoje taken to ground as well. Italian defence holding strong, but this isn't the area of the pitch they want to be in. Marcus Smith nearly hits the gap, and suddenly England are opened up in the defensive line. It's a short advantage from the referee. It feels a bit harsh there for a knock-on. And on top of it, the penalty actually goes against Italy for hands in the ruck. They'll be really disappointed with that. That was a very big opportunity for them. England will go for the kick towards the corner. They want to try and get that driving more. We'll see how they get on. Not probably as close as he wanted it to be. Probably wanted it to be a little bit closer to that 5-meter line. They're making another switch here. Jack Knoll comes off and Radwan comes on. Kyle Sinclair off as well. Some big calls here. England know they have the opportunity to potentially come away with a bonus point try now. They've scored 2. They only need 2 more. If they can just find the room. The Italian defence, though, holding up well once again. Ben Young spreads it out wide. Johnny May got a lot of work to do out on his own wing there all by himself. Ellis Genge decides to take it to Will Stewart, the newcomer to the field, just come on from the bench, making a massive impression on this team. England seem to be stretched rather wide. They'll want to be trying to get a little bit closer to support some of their forwards as Johnny Hill takes it to the line. Ben Youngs goes himself to Simmons, to Slade, pass back inside, but intercepted by Brex. A superb move from him. Unfortunately, didn't get the kick away. We'll see who catches this loose ball in the air. It bounces wildly, and suddenly Italy are on the break. They kick it out. It's a good clearance, takes them towards that half line. Callum Braley's coming on now for Stephen Varney. It's Italy themselves are wanting to make a bit of a switch up. They're hoping some new energy on the pitch will allow them to get back into this game. I feel like the game is probably over in terms of who's going to be winning it, but it's all about now, can Italy get themselves on the scoreboard? They don't want this to fall to a niller, but they've got the driving maul, and in fact, England look to be struggling in that forward pack considering they've had more substitutions on. Italy go down in that midfield, and it's a great counter ruck there by England. The ball gets out to Henry Slade. Superb cover tackle by Rutzer. Once again, having to make all the tackles that he can do. Johnny May seems to have a bit of a breakaway, though, down the wing. He picks up the ball. They managed to get back to stop him because Padovani looked like he was not going to get there, but a superb tackle from him. He gets the offload. Will Stewart again managing to find himself ball in hand with room. I'm not sure he's quite ready for this. The prop probably wanted a bit more support to go for some power hits as Corny Laws drives it towards that 5-meter line. England surely have numbers now out on this wing. They don't go for it. They go up the middle. The organisation of the English defence doesn't seem to be right where they want it to be. Itoje lines it up. Will Stewart again carrying it on strongly. They just can't find that man overlap. It must be there. They go for Johnny Hill through the middle. Takes it to the 5-meter line. They just can't unlock that Italian defence one more time. Sam Simmons passes it back inside to Marcus Smith. Not going his way yet again. The Italian defence just saying no to this. They don't want to concede any more in this. It could come down to points as we get towards the end of the Six Nations. Point difference could be important. Johnny Hill thinks he sees a gap to Radwan, the new boy. I don't think he's had a touch on the pitch yet. Owen Farrell tries to take it on. England just cannot get through here. Superb defence by Italy. Slade thinks he sees a gap to Simmons. A lot of work to do. Anne feels isolated there. Italy try and kick the ball out. It doesn't go dead. It's not the greatest kick there by Callum Brayley. Johnny May runs it back up the field. Etoje taken down to ground as England really want to have this game continue on. It's not going to make the most difference in terms of the overall score, but the points difference between them and potentially a Six Nations at the end of it all could be really vital. Cowan Dickey takes it on, not managing to make the room he wanted to there. Sam Simmons, can he get the pop pass to Marcus Smith? To Henry Slade, done so well in this game today. Etoje thinks he sees an overlap. If Cowan Dickey can pass the ball to Radwan, it's one-on-one. He gets around one, he gets around two. Superb run by him. Can he retain inside the field? He does. Will Stewart again to Courtney Laws, to Marcus Smith, taking it back up to that 5-metre line. England desperate to show off to this Twickenham crowd why they came to watch this game. England still pressing hard. Tom Curry sees a gap, goes for the loose pass. I think he saw Johnny May outside him. Doesn't make the most of it, and Italy managed to reclaim the ball, but England are counter-attacking hard. Italy would have to run the length of the pitch here. They're a proud nation. They're not going to want to lose to nil if they can achieve it. England find themselves back in possession. It's been a long game. Fatigue is beginning to set in here for both teams as we see Marcus Smith take it up to the line. What a beautiful set play from them, and they got it over straight from the training field sort of stuff. It'll be a real shame for Italy. They do lose this game with another score in the bank. It looks so good for them. England here just setting up directly under the post. One of the hardest areas to defend from in a game like this. They go for the little set play out the back, and we see Marcus Smith crash over for the try. Will they add salt to the wound with this final kick? Let's see how Marcus Smith does. Yeah, not a terrible one from him. 24-0. England will be incredibly happy with that performance in that second half. The first half getting away from them. Italy showing why they deserve to be big contenders at the Six Nations after that big win last week. They fought valiantly in this one, but England are finally the victors. A big score lead for them will put them back in big running with the Six Nations, along with Ireland, who've also played extremely well this year in some of the other games. The final score, England 24, Italy 0. I hope you've enjoyed this one today, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.